Hi, welcome to this unboxing video and first impressions from Anno Domini 1666. The year is 1666. We're located in Europe. After the sudden and hairless death of the Emperor Leopold I, the throne of the mighty Habsburg dynasty is empty. Electors of the Holy Roman Empire make their way to Vienna to choose their new monarch. European powers are in place and they're trying to dispatch their envoys to Vienna to make sure that the candidate they support gets to sit on the throne. They also send their very best and most trusted men for tasks which, of course, cannot be officially done by politicians. Anno Domini 1666 is a board game full of intrigue and mystery set in the alternate reality of the 17th century of Europe. You take command of a band of rogues and heroes represented by highly detailed minis and face your opponents in dynamic and challenging scenarios. Explore the dark alleys of Vienna, fight using amazing fencing skills and dirty tricks, negotiate, convince, intimidate, but above all, succeed. Hire mercenaries and buy equipment and pray for God's help or pact with demons. Do not let the city guard catch you and never surrender. Will you dare to enter the world of Anno Domini 1666? So let's enter together and open the box to see what comes inside. This is a brand new game that I recently was funded via Kickstarter, and now everyone can get it via the eShop of the company that makes the game. This is one really well thought company which actually pays a lot of attention to details and production. You're going to see exactly what I mean. Their expertise, of course, are war games, and rest assured that this is one of the best finely crafted war games. Anno Domini is played by 2 players. This is 1 or 2 players. You can also play as a solo. Keep in mind that there are expansions for 3rd and 4th player. A game lasts about 60 to 120 minutes. It is for ages 14 and up, and the weight is about 3.3 out of 5. The designers of the game are Konrad Sosinski, if I'm pronouncing this correct, sorry about that, and Rafał Schwelinki. The company is Wargamer Game Studio, which they really have a huge expertise on war games, miniature games, and also they're crafting fantastic minis. You're going to see right away what I'm talking about. The theme of the game, of course, is fantasy. It's based on historical and actual events, but also inspired by mystery, wizards, fantasy, and all of these things that they come and wrap up a complete package. So the game belongs to the category of adventure, and it has tactical elements and lots of minis, and the mechanisms are mainly grid movement, hand management, and variable player powers. Lots of scenarios, lots of material, and replayability. So let's dive right away and open the box to see what's inside. First of all, I'm really happy to find that the fact that they have used this protective foam. Usually this type of inserts and foams are paid separately, and actually for a quite big chunk of money, in order to protect your minis. Here, as you can see, they have selected the same material that you find in top-notch quality custom inserts to protect and ensure that the minis are not going to be harmed by any way. There is a place for each and every mini, and the minis are highly detailed. We're planning to make specifically for the minis a 3D spinning video where we're going to rotate them on a rotating plate and video record them for you so that you can see all the details, which look really nice. So let's start right ahead and open the rest of the material and see what we find inside. We have mini base rings for the 2 factions, for the 2 players. These are going to be inserted at the back of at the bottom of our minis to differentiate which minis belong to which side for which player. Okay. There are some bases for different elements that we're going to use to keep those elements on vertical orientation. So the game, for those of you who don't know, it doesn't use any dice at all, and this is a real good surprise. They're using a custom deck, which is responsible for many things coming out of the game. You can either draw randomly from the deck or play cards from your hand in order to mitigate the luck. the fact that it's diceless is actually really refreshing and welcome alternative to the usual type of dice mechanisms for these games. And from the videos I have seen so far and all the preview work that they have released, it looks very well thought and well implemented. So these are the two decks. We're going to open them later on. I'm just pulling for the moment all the cards out, so I can also take all this insert and remove it from the upper part. We're going to come back to the minis and have a closer look. Look at this material, really. This is the type of foam insert that costs a lot of money, and they have already included it in this box. It comes right inside the box, so no extra cost, and I'm really happy because I think it's one of the best materials to protect your minis, especially if you paint them and you want them sitting firm in their position while you take the box with you. Now I'm going to... This is the back of the box. The game has very nice illustrations, and there are a lot of different landscapes and scenarios and areas where you're going to be deploying your band of heroes. The selection of the band is very interesting. It uses a drafting mechanism which is really streamlined and works very well. We're going to follow up with a how to play video from the game and explain how the game plays. So keep in mind that it's not all about looks. It has a very good engine underneath the hood, and we're going to demonstrate this later on. I was really impressed by the game. That's why I approached this company and requested a copy, and I was very happy when they did send me the copy, so I get a chance to try it right away. To be honest, after this video is shot, I'm having a live session again with my friends to play the game and try it out. Now, this is the back of the box. Again, it's using historical events, and it's coming from a real period of in history, and the events around Eastern Central Europe and the 17th century, but it's building on that and adding more stuff to the mix. So I'm taking the box out for the moment because I want to remove any possibility of glare from the light, and I want to focus on the material. So basically what you get is a bunch of cardboards with the maps, or double-sided maps, the tokens, and the scenario books. Now, okay, there are two punch boards. Here is the first punch board, which has, as you can see, health or damage tokens. The cardstock is very good, very thick quality. I don't know if you can closely look on the thickness. No bending, no tearing. Everything comes out from the punch board with no problem, even the small tokens. Now these are doors. The game is going to be using various rooms and corners and setups, and you're going to be setting those rooms on these stands like that, so they sit vertical on your grid. Of course, you can use alternative 3D printing doors or doors from other games if you have, but these look really nice as well. The art on the doors is very nice. Okay, quite a few doors, which gives you an understanding of how many different rooms and how many places you can navigate in a chosen scenario. Every scenario is replayable, so you can play it again and again with different paths and options to choose. These are the doors. Okay, and as I said, we're going to be using those standees to put the doors on a vertical orientation. So coming back, we have some additional elements. These look like some kind of desks or benches, so you can have 3D elements, obstacles that our heroes are going to interact. They're going to be able to climb on the tables and have advantages and disadvantages depending on the obstacles, etc. So keep in mind that these are not only decor, they're also functional, which is always nice. I'm also keen to use some of my custom 3D furniture that I have for such games and indoor settings. This most probably is the starting player token. Looks very nice. And these are double-sided. From one side you have some kind of supplies or pottery, etc. And from the other side again it's the desk with some plates and some a mug, probably with wine or something like that. Okay, then lots and lots of tokens. The game comes with a lot of tokens that actually are used in gameplay. I'm not going to go into any details at the moment. I'm simply unpunching everything and showing you the contents of the box, and shortly everything is going to be explained when we make a how to play video of the game. Now, just to say that the quality is excellent, good cardstock, very durable and thick, and that looks nice. Okay, so I'm going to stop unpunching, even though I rarely can stop unpunching, but as you can see, most of the tokens are very well done. Nice art and nice illustrations. Okay, cool. Now, another punch board with different counters and tokens. Same quality of cardstock, putting it to the side. We have, first of all, I'm going to open the boards because I really like the art on the boards. We have two double-sided huge boards with different locations in the city, indoors, outdoors, etc. This is a grid-based map, and actually it accommodates lots and lots of locations, as you can see. For example, this is one of the locations. It has from one side, okay, it's quite big. It has from one side the city and different houses with indoor spaces. For example, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 indoor spaces. Of course, you would be putting doors to indicate this is a window and this is a door, to indicate the different areas where the characters come into play. Same goes for all the buildings. This is a big map. I'm sure the camera cannot fit everything, so I'm just showing you how big the map looks like. The art is phenomenal. I really like how realistic the scenery. For example, here you can see like some kind of a video game where you're looking through the houses in perspective, and then you can see the sand and the details. I mean, check out the sand, how nice it's done, and it looks like there's some footprints, etc. And also you can see the sea, and there is also a couple of vessels at the docks, etc. Very nicely done, excellent done. What I also like is the grid is not very harsh lines. Usually in this type of games, most of the companies and the art is having very thick or strong borders, which actually take out from the experience from the map, which is usually beautiful. Here they have made very polite lines, very thin lines. Of course, you can see when you're moving from one space to the other, you never lose your track, and also there is a dot that uses the center of the square for orientation and alignment purposes. Now let me show you the back of this map. This is also very nice. This shows a big outdoor location where it has the forest. You can see there are different obstacles. For example, this location here has an X, which means actually this is you cannot enter here, obviously, because of the tree, but you can move around it. Nonetheless, the art is very well blended with the details. For example, look at this wagon wheel, how nicely it is buried with the dirt on the ground, or the cracks here. Lots and lots of details, really realistic landscape. I highly am excited about the art, because it helps you dive more into the theme, and really looks very nice. Look at this central building, how it pops out. So this is one double-sided map. Let's dive in the second one. Okay, This is another map. This shows the city by night. Again, there are different spots where there is light highlighting some squares or some buildings. This is indoors. This is you know, the alley. Let me show you up close. This is the alley, and you can see there are some lights highlighting and illuminating some areas with all the stone being popping out from the dark background. And again, here, for example, is the central square, some kind of show, who knows, execution. We'll see what the scenarios are going to reveal to us. There are some thick lines where you cannot cross, and then you have some doors, some possibilities to enter, and this is an opening. And I really like this dark board, which gives the impression of a city sleeping, but of course there are things in play that are going to be our heroes there. And here is the other opposing side of the board, very highly illuminated. This is probably daylight in the middle of the day. There's some shadows casting from the statues. This is a garden. This looks some kind of a garden of the palace or something like that, because you can see this is they have some stairs here to go up by this way, or the main square, the main entrance, which goes like that to go into the palace probably. And then here is a fountain. I don't know if you can see. There's a fountain, and there is a labyrinth of bushes and corridors, creating opportunities for very narrow passages. Very well, nicely done. And this image is something that for sure everyone has in the back of their mind from movies essentially, or documentaries from that era. Extremely well done, and very different from the other as well. Okay, now there is also a smaller board here, which has some kind of a keep or tavern, because we see a huge barrel here, probably with a wine or something like that. Again, I like what they do with the light. There is illumination close to the lamps or the fire, the torches actually, and there's some dark spots or shadows casting throughout the floor. And here is probably the warehouse or something like that. Very nicely done. Look at the detail, how easy it is to navigate through the grid. And on the back of this one, there's some outdoor, looks like some kind of maybe cave or opening in the wild, who knows, with the four corners illuminated. Again, extremely well done, gives a lot of different possibilities for the scenarios that are coming right away. Now, the word of Anno Domini 1666, it's a word on its own. That's why I'm going to show you briefly the art book, which you can buy separately. I was very happy to receive this together with my copy. So this is both Polish and English, I think, in the two pages, so you can find the history about the word of Anno Domini to get you right into the theme. And you can always find both, let me show you here, both English and Polish, I believe, text with all the story and all the theme and the background from the word of Anno Domini. This is a fascinating era. You can see the illustrations are really nice, very realistic. There is a lot of schematics. There is also things to help you dive into the theme of your game, because you see the minis also come with some background and some story. So what you see is not just a dull mini or some plastic. It is representing something actually historical, a guard, a specific hero, the Three Musketeers, and so on and so forth. So it's very nicely done. You can see there's a lot of detail. This is a throne room, exceptional work. I'm really happy to get this art book, and the first thing I'm going to do is first I'm going to dive right away and have a session just after I stop recording this video, but then I'm planning to go back and read the art book and the story before going back to my second play. Very nicely done, extremely well done. The details are very nicely highlighted. The colors are popping out. It is difficult to say because at some point while I'm flipping these pages it looks like some kind of posh and luxurious guide from a museum, a historical museum, describing all this. It could easily be done, found if you told me that this was being sold on a museum of history or something like that, I would easily dig it and didn't realize it's the art book from the game. Very well done, extremely well done, guys, and it makes you wonder why companies do not really support the games more with such amazing material. Because this will light the world of Anno Domini 1666 up for me. I mean, it's already tremendous, exceptional, the art and all the aesthetics of the game, but the art book is amazing, very well done. I can't emphasize enough what a tremendous addition this is. If you bought the game and you don't have the art book, usually I'm not a big fan of art books because I like the art, but I find it simply as a repetition, a repetition in a way that it's also included in the cards or in the scenario books, etc. But here, this is something completely different. This is beautiful, simply and plainly. Okay, look at this. This could be easily a drawing, painting. It could be. I need to read. Tremendous art, extremely well done, and also there's a lot of taste going on here in the way that this art book was structured. Extremely well done. Okay, so these are the maps, the tiles, and the material and the tokens that come with Anno Domini 1666. So let me go ahead and I like this side better and start showing you the minis and the cards. Okay, so for the cards, these are the two decks. I'm assuming one for each player, for each faction. The core game plays for 1 to 2 players. It's also very good solo from what I've heard. I haven't tried it solo. Maybe it's a good opportunity for me to try it solo. This deck of cards, first of all, it's very nice that it looks like a deck of cards from that age. It's not like a fancy, modern looking deck of cards. It could be a card that they had on the 17th century. And that's what I like. I mean, the feel of the aesthetics and the feel of the paper looks some kind of ragged, dirty deck of cards you would find in a tavern or in an innkeep, and that's in an inn, and that looks really, really nicely done. The deck of cards is dictating the results of your battle and the tests that you're passing, and lots of different cool things, but I'm going to cover them in a separate video, how this blends in with the game, and it's a second deck, and all the mechanics. Now, two smaller decks here. The first one has some items. Let's see. Yeah, and two-handed firearm. Of course, there are items that you would find in this era, and makes sense what they're depicting. This is, for example, bread. It could be some water, a disguise, an accurate description, a poster, etc. Different items, poison, garlic. There is a scenario with a vampire that's the garlic. Yeah, extremely well done, the musket. These are very nice and nicely illustrated items, weapons, and the different potions and things that you would expect to find in this era in the bag of our heroes, or together with their equipment. These are bracers, for example. Look how well done they're decorated. They look some kind of royal bracers for royal guards or something like that. A saber. You can see the different statistics on the side of the card, which add modifiers to your attacks and your checks and tests. Dagger, master sword, cutlass, etc. So, armor, helmets, and pistols. Very well done. I like this is combined tech, actually. Quite a lot of items here. Cool. Next, we have, I believe, our heroes that come in this deck. And I would expect that these are cards for the minis because they have stats on them. Yeah, these are the different minis and the different versions of our heroes, and we have lots of stats on them for the different, you see, the range or the melee attack, different numbers. It may look initially complicated, but the system is very easy to get behind once you have a couple of turns, so don't be alarmed by the different numbers. It's not that complex, but I'm just saying, since you're seeing a lot of different numbers and stats, don't be alarmed. It's not difficult to get behind and support the game once you have a couple of turns and get your hands a bit dirty. I like the system. I've seen how it plays and read about the system, and it looks very robust and streamlined, so I'm looking forward to try it on the table. So the art on these heroes is very nice. These are the Dracoon guards, for example, armed. D'Artagnan, Athos, Porthos, Aramis, etc. Amazing characters. We all know them already from the books. We really want to use them in this game, and I'm looking forward to try them out and have them represented on board, trying to accomplish different missions and succeed in their plans based on the scenario. Okay, extremely nicely done the art. I like the deck a lot. Now, next thing I'm going to show you guys is a bit of the rule books and the scenario booklets. So I'm putting those on the side for the moment. So we have lots of different materials here. First of all, we have the rule book, which shows, maybe it's time for me to zoom out a bit, which shows the different rules of the game. Again, it is done in a way that it's not difficult to follow. It looks, here are the components, all the minis, all the tiles, the map tiles, the cards, etc. And then you start with a table of contents, introduction to the game, how the cards work and the system they support. And then there are a lot of illustrations. This is a card anatomy, which explains everything. This is very useful to get right into the play, and how to play starts immediately. You see the core mechanics, the character actions and the actions you can take and how you spend them, how you move, how you fight, how you attack, how you enter via different locations. Movement, examples, illustrations. That's very helpful because always helps to get a full understanding of how the actions, especially attack, line of sight and adjacency works in these places, in this type of games, tactical element games. And that's it. So it doesn't look like a difficult rule book to get behind. Of course, it has a lot of details and a lot of things for us to check, but seems that it's done in a way that it's easy to follow and get behind. This is all the minis. And here is also something very nicely done. Usually in this type of games there's a different representation of the art, for example from a hero or a guard, and the mini. Of course, it's not easy to really pick up a mini and pick up the card with the details of the card and the art and say, okay, that mini belongs to this card. Not always, unless they have different postures or holding extremely different type of weapons. Here what they have done, and I really like it, and 2 thumbs up from me for this is they have put one extra page with the illustration from this character next to his mini or her mini. You see? So it's very, very easy to immediately locate which mini is what and not start going through reading indexes and small letters, etc. just from this page. Very well done. Now, there is of course the Arch Enemy page here, Defenders of the Crown, and the Royal Musketeers. Yeah. And then there are 2 player aids, one for each player, for summarizing all the details, for one for each player, so that you don't have to run into the rulebook every time. Cool. Now, next thing that I'm very, very happy about is this chunky big rulebook, which has all the scenarios and all the different setups for the game. So I'm going through the game very quickly, but look how it explains, for example, what is the seaside, where is the sand, this is the fountain, because you could wonder, can I enter the fountain or not? Here is everything explained and very well done. Here is of course the adventure begins with adventure scenarios. We start with a murder in the tavern, very well done. So there is a mystery here. You see that the game focuses on this part of the board, so you may be playing on a specific part of the board, not the whole big full-blown board. And again, this is the setup, how you start the game, how you set up the scenario, which is the goal, what you're trying to achieve, where you set up the starting units. And you can see how everything is used in a very nicely way with illustrations, clarifications and everything. So this looks very, very nice. It seems that it's taking advantage of all of the boards. And here's the Arch Enemy and the Arch Enemy scenarios. I think this refers to solo gaming, if I'm not mistaken, where the Arch Enemy is played by AI. I'm not sure, I'm going to check. And then some more art and clarifications at the end. Very, very nicely done. It looks very cool, this rulebook. Now, the company is really, really paying attention to details. This is their brochure. I'm just showing you that besides Anno Domini 1666, which comes with a core game and the core box, you can get the expansion for the 3rd and 4th player, and there are many different boxes with different factions and additional units for you to take and use together with different map tiles and different minis. The minis, as you're going to see, and the character packs are very, very highly detailed. These are commoner sets, main people, staff in the tavern, guards, etc. And these are heroes. And then also here, if I'm not mistaken, this is a game that they developed themselves. This is the Fire and Sword, where it shows briefly an introduction to the system, some pictures, very cool pictures, and some additional elements that you can go and check out on their website as well. I'm going to include it in the description of this video, and some info to contact the company. So everything looks nice. Let's round this up with the minis. And coming back to the minis, I'm very, very impressed with the quality of the sculpts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking them out and showing you the detail. This is a company that really has an expertise on miniatures. Yeah, look at the detail, the hat, the sword, the cape, the back. I'm going to zoom in a bit more on the camera, on the overhead camera. This video is going to go on Facebook and also separately with a different camera that I'm shooting from on YouTube. This is very nicely done, and again it's extremely detailed. This looks like a commoner. This is just to show you briefly and quickly the minis. I'm going to make, ooh, that's a big spear, a 3D spinning video and show you in detail all the minis. This looks tremendous. The copy here has all the minis. This is how the game is being sold. It has all the minis in the foam insert. This is a guard holding a lantern to go and check out probably. This is a very nice posture, amazing detail. I think some of them are, these are 2 copies and these are 2 copies. Some of them are duplicates, like this one, this some kind of hero in a tavern or brute or something like that. Don't remember now, this is the second time the same one. I don't remember, and more too here for this. I don't remember all the characters, so I'm going to have a closer look when I do the 3D spinning video, which will follow shortly after that. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 at the bottom, then we move to the second row. That looks very nice, a completely different look. The hat is different, the cape or coat is different, and also the posture is different with this one. I believe these all are unique. This looks like a lady with a basket. This is some kind of is a dragoon fighter, maybe. Looks like some kind of dragoon fighter. The minis are very good quality plastic, and they have very nice detail. This company really has an expertise on making minis, so it's no wonder here that they've done such a great job. Oh, look at this, this must be an Ottoman. Such a great job with their sculpts and the minis. They're very unique and different from each other, and very well executed, I would add. Cool. Okay, this is some kind of a dragoon fighter again, I think with a different posture, but I think they have the same stats if I'm not mistaken. I don't worry about the minis because they're very easily protected in this foam. This looks like some kind of monk or innkeep, who knows? Oh, this is a long sword, yeah, and this is a tall guy, yeah, cool. And then let's move to the top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no, there are 8. And this is another lady. And then we have, oh, this is, I think this is one of the 3 musketeers, don't remember which one, I need to check the illustration on the card. But look how nicely this is done. The hat is amazing, two-sworded, extremely well done momentum on the posture. Yeah, great stuff with the minis. This looks gorgeous, and I'm really looking forward to try it on the board with the different scenarios, and again with the reading I'm going to do on the art book and the history for all the characters and heroes. As a reminder, this is going to really make them very, very live in my mind. Oh, that's a good posture. Yeah, this is an attack position. You see, he's stepping the knee forward, extending the sword in an offensive posture. Well done. And 2 more to go. Yeah, you can easily see also the clothing and the details, and you know, the boots and the capes and everything, and the hat and the feathers and everything. It's very, very well done, and they deserve congratulations, in my opinion, for everything they have done with this execution of these minis. Really nice. This musket extended, and the hat is very nice addition as well. Okay, cool. So these are the minis. I'm really looking forward to put them on the table so that we can start the game, start fighting, start trying different things, and start trying the different scenarios. This is Anno Domini 1666. Hope you enjoyed this video. We're going to come back soon with a 3D spinning video for the minis so that you can focus on the detail of those miniatures, and separate how to play video for the game so that you get to understand the basic rules, and maybe try some things down the road as well. So many thanks for watching.